Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Adam. Welcome back to the shop for another episode of Saturday Night Special, this being 57. So I got a few updates for you this week, and we got some other things we're going to talk about here. I want to first start off by telling everybody thank you very much for your support, and especially your comments from this last week on the last S&S video. Got a lot of support from everybody. As you know, I mentioned a couple things about the way I felt about a couple things there, and I appreciate everybody's feedback on that and letting me know that you love the videos and you enjoy seeing what I put out, and you guys, I get a lot of comments that say, hey, I appreciate it, and I know it takes a lot of time, and it does take a lot of time out of somebody's day to not only film a video, but to edit it, produce it, upload it, all that. So it does take quite a bit of time, but I enjoy to do it just like the other guys do. You know, we all enjoy it. It's fun. I enjoy hearing from you. I enjoy your comments, and I like sharing the stuff that I do out here in the shop. And that's really what it's all about. It's just having some fun, entertaining, and see some machine work and some chips flying and stuff like that. So, again, I just want to thank everybody for that. So, I got some updates I'm going to fill you in on, and I've got some viewer appreciation mail, and I have some flea market finds from last weekend that I've already filmed, and I'm going to show that to you also. So, to start off, the welding table project, you see I got the shaft standing up right here. This past week, last weekend and this week, I worked on it, and you can see the shop is a mess. I'm not proud of that right now. We've got to get that cleaned up, but I've been busy and haven't really dedicated time to sweep up and everything. So I worked on the lock handle for the welding table, and that's what's going to fit in this groove right here. So that hopefully will be following this Saturday Night Special, and you'll see that real soon. So this week I also worked on the table. We did some machining on the base plate. I did some work on that, so that'll be coming up soon also. So I also want to point out a couple other things. Emails and messages. I have been getting quite a few, and I want to apologize to the guys who have emailed me and that I haven't had any given you a response yet. I've been pretty busy here lately, and I get behind on emails and messages, and I know guys try to message me on Facebook sometimes and I don't get back to you, and just please don't take it personal if you don't hear back from me, especially right away. I try to get to those when I can, and sometimes I have to dedicate a little bit of time to just kind of sit down here at the computer and go down the list and start responding to everybody. And so I just wanted to mention that too. So anyway, I'm going to move on. We got okay, so here's a new thing for this week. We've got some brand new A-Bomb 79 business cards, and it's got the updated logo with the the new A-Bomb 79 logo, and on the back got my email there, and we have a new abomb79.com hyperlink. So that's not a website, but what that is a link that anybody can type in, and it'll take you directly to my YouTube channel. So that's pretty cool there. Thank you, Quinn. Quinn gives me a hand with the artwork and setting stuff like that up. So thanks, Quinn, for that, man. You did a great job. He did the artwork for the business cards here, and everybody knows my buddy Gil by now, I think. Gil's brother, John McLean, he runs a print shop here locally. It's actually over in Mariester. It's called Image Printing and Digital Services. So John hooked me up with the business cards, same as he did last time also, the old business cards. So thank you very much, Gil and John, for those. Those are great. He doubled up this time and gave me 500, and hopefully these will last a little bit longer now. So I pass those out and give them to guys when I send something through the mail. So We're going to go ahead and get to, I got a little bit of viewer mail here. Some of it's from some other YouTube guys, and we're going to share that, and then we'll move on to some flea market stuff. Okay. All right, so our first viewer mail, we got an envelope with a Ox Tool stamp on it, so you probably know who that's from. And we have a little note there, and we have a stack of Ox Tool decals. I don't know, we got about 5 or 6 in there. And he had this note in there also. Give a couple to Gil. So Gil, you're gonna get a couple of the Ox Tool stickers here. So thank you, Tom. I'm gonna put one of these on the back of my truck to go along with the other ones that I've been putting on there. So, and probably put a couple around the shop and different places so that everybody can kind of see the Ox Tool logo every now and then. So thank you very much, Tom. I appreciate it. Okay, our next viewer appreciation is this really cool coffee mug that's got my the new logo on it there and my name, Adam Booth. And the stickers may give it away who it's from, the Vintage Machinery. So this is from Keith Rucker over there in Tifton, Georgia. He told me in a note there he was getting some more stickers made up, and he seen where you could get coffee mugs made. So he decided he wanted me to have a coffee mug with my logo. So that's very cool. I don't use them too much out here in the shop because I'm always afraid I'm gonna break them, but you might have to see this a little bit more often out here in the shop, okay? So thank you very much, Keith, for that, okay? All right, so our last viewer appreciation mail was a really heavy box. This was one of the items here. This is a big 50 taper end mill holder. And we've also got a bunch of big taps right here. So this was sent in from James Kilroy over there in Vicksburg, Mississippi. And if you follow his videos, you might know about the little guessing game that he did on his guess the repair estimate, the repair cost for his truck. He had somebody shoot up his truck bed, and he had to get a couple of bullet holes fixed, and so everybody was throwing out their guess on what the cost would be to repair his truck bed. And he says that me and one other guy, I don't remember who that was, we were the closest. We were like $14 off. I think I guessed it was $12.75 or something like that. I don't remember now, but anyway, I won. Which, man, that made me laugh. That's like a couple online guessing games that I've won now. And he decided he wanted to send me a couple door prizes for that. So he sent me this big 50 taper end mill holder. This is a 1-inch, and this will be used over here in the K&T whenever we get it fired up and running. And this will be extremely handy. It's nice to have an extra length end mill holder there. He's also thrown in some 1.5-inch pipe taps. These are brand new. Brand new pipe taps. So there's 2 of them in the 1.5-inch flavor. All right. We've also got a brand new 1-inch 8 spiral pointed tap, and that's very cool because I do not have a 1-inch tap of this style. I think all of my 1-inch taps are just normal hand taps, so that's pretty cool. And then the last one here, this one's really cool. This is a 1 3/8 12 hand tap, and I really like this because this could be very useful at work. Actually, James, I do a lot of hydraulic work, and probably the most common pitch in hydraulic work is a 12 pitch for anything above 1 inch. Okay, normally everything's 12. So I deal with a lot of 12 pitch, especially sizes like 1 1/8, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, 1 7/8, and 2 inch, and it even goes above that. So I do not have a 1 3/8 tap down there, and it's kind of rare that you do run into a 1 3/8, but in the event that I do, it's nice to have a tap. A situation where you might have a rod's turned and threaded 1 3/8, so you got a piston that goes on that size, and you just want to run a tap through there and clean the threads up. So that'd be pretty cool to have. I've got a 1 5/16 12 that I took down there because we needed for a couple jobs. We didn't have one, so it's down there in my toolbox, and every now and then I have to use it. So I may put my name on this one and take it to work and actually put it to use, James. So thank you very much. That's a nice tap. This is a very good quality, and this one is it says CWS, made in USA. So there's this week's viewer appreciation mail. I want to thank all you guys for everything that you've done. So we've got stuff from 3 YouTube creators this week. That's pretty cool, man. So thanks a lot, guys. I don't know how, but I actually almost forgot one right here. We've got another viewer appreciation mail. I had it sitting over there and I forgot to grab it, but I want to show you what this is and who sent it in. But what we have, got a couple wrenches here. What we have is a very nice 3-inch face mill, and this was given to me. This was sent by from Chris, and he's at Disco Industries. I'm sorry, Disco Tech Industries. Okay, and they have an eBay store where they sell these, and they also make them in a CCMT version of this. But this one here uses a CNMG insert, and it uses the 4 corners, the 4 odd corners that you don't normally use whenever you're turning on a lathe. I've showed you, I've got a couple tools where you can use that, so you can use it for chamfering or facing. But so this is pretty nice that you can utilize these inserts also for doing some face milling, that kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. Chris had heard me. I talked about this in a video a while back, mentioning that I'd like to have one. And I've seen these. It's been a long time. I've seen them where they actually had them turned up to where it was kind of, you could mill to an angle. But this one's really cool, and it utilizes those inserts. So the CNMG insert, you can utilize all 4 corners of the insert on both sides. So I actually do have an R8 adapter here, an arbor for it. It's 1 inch, but it's missing the bolt, and I believe that's a shoulder bolt that goes in here, but it fits it really nice. I just need a bolt, so I'm going to have to find a bolt so that I can use this. And then we'll also, in the future, as we get closer to being able to use the K&T, I'll find a 50 taper tooling that'll hold this also, and we'll be able to use it over here in the K&T. So very nice tool, Chris. I'm looking forward to finding a bolt for this and getting this thing in working condition so that I can go over here to the do-all and maybe we can take some test cuts with it and see how it does. So thank you very much for that. It's an awesome tool, man. All right, guys, we're going to do a little bit of a flea market find segment right here. We've, a little bit of discussion on the videos. You guys seem to really enjoy this, most of you anyway, and I really like doing it too. It's fun, and I love going down there and walking and trying to make that pick and try to find that one cool item that you find there on the table. But so I went 2 times this weekend. I went Saturday and Sunday, and I got some hand tools, nothing really spectacular, but I thought I would share them with you anyway, because I'm finding out more and more that some of the guys down there looking like me are also collecting, and they have specific brands in mind. An old friend of mine, I see him down there every weekend now. He's always on the search for plumb tools. And one of the guys I talked to today, there was a couple brands that he's always looking for. So guys have their favorites, and everybody's out there digging for them. But anyway, yesterday I went out there and I grabbed these few things here, and not a whole lot of money in this right here. I paid $7 for all this. This pair of channel locks I found interesting. I picked them up because I like the feel of them, and they're still in pretty good shape. But I like that style right there of the unlock mechanism. Okay, lock it and you just pull that and unlocks. So this is interesting because we talked about a tool of this brand a few weeks ago, and I call it Value Check, but it's VLCHEK, VL Check, USA made. And a couple of the guys posted some links on the brand of the Value Check brand, but they are American made, and they made some good quality tools. So I got that right there. I really like that. I found this really cool Cincinnati Tool Company number 55 C-clamp, and it's a pretty little C-clamp. I love finding good quality C-clamps that are in good shape, and I've got another one here I'll show you. But there was a pair of these. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I love the lettering in it. There was a pair of these, and the other one, the screw was bent way over, and I'm like, well, that's kind of useless. But anyway, I grabbed that. Those are real nice. It's got a nice little flat top right there, you know, get into tight places maybe. This is a neat, interesting thread file that I found down in a toolbox. You've got a metric and standard. You got a 20 thread per inch file, a 1.25, and then a 1.5. So that was pretty interesting. Made in USA, and it fits on there. I mean, that's it. I see the same lettering on this end there here. So I picked that up, and then just a good quality center punch right here. Dasco, I believe, made in USA. So $5 for all that. And then another guy had this impact driver that's brand new, really. You see we got the little literature right here on it on how to use it. One of the tips is missing, but there's a longer one down inside here. Maybe that was, they intended to put that as the fourth piece right there. But anyway, I think it's never been used. It doesn't show any signs of being hit on this end. So I asked him what he wanted. He said $2. And these things are handy when you need them. And I've got another one, an old one, that's just like that. And it's right here. You see that. This one says Continental Taiwan, and this one says Vessel Impact Driver. But it looks of the same, right? But my buddy Glenn over at Duckman Cycles had come over a couple weeks ago, and he needed help taking a couple screws out of an alternator or a generator frame, I believe. And I used this old impact driver, and it actually ended up working, but all of the screws are busted on it, so it was kind of useless at that point. So I seen that, I'm like, I'm gonna get that thing. So we got another one there, and that'll be nice. So so that was yesterday's score right there, and I got a few more right here I'm going to go ahead and share with you too. So as I was talking about, I do like finding C-clamps. I'm always on the lookout for the cant twist, and nobody ever has any. But one lady had, she had a few old C-clamps, and she had this one laying there. Now I've already wire brushed it over there on the grinder to clean it up. It had surface rust on it, but I could tell that it was a good quality C-clamp. And that's what I like to use, is a very good quality C-clamp. So I picked it up, and I seen that made in USA. All right, but I couldn't tell what brand it was. And when I finally wire wheeled it, you can make out Proto right there. Proto-402. So that should be the part number, 402. But 402, made in USA, drop forward steel. It don't look like it's got very much use in it, but it works beautifully. Nice heavy duty anvil right there. So good quality C-clamp, and she took $2 for that. Now that's an excellent buy. I mean, if you bought a new one like this, you're going to spend a whole lot more than that. And if you don't spend that much, you're not getting a very good quality C-clamp, if you know what I mean. Also picked up this Bonnie chisel. So that's probably pretty old right there, since it's Bonnie. I just thought that was a good buy. I got it for $1. And I also got this striker, but I didn't buy this for me. I got this for my buddy Wes at work. He's always needing a striker, and he always comes over and borrows mine. So actually we threw this in to a package deal right here for $1. So, so I got that for Wes. I'm gonna give that to him tomorrow. All right, and we got 2 more big boys right here. Okay, we've got a nice size wrench right here. This is a 1 5/8. It's a proto. I don't have any big wrenches except for some I've been collecting. So I seen that there, and I had to kind of make a deal on that. But I'll show you. There was one more that went with it here, and that's this 3/4 inch drive Armstrong ratchet. And he had both of these laying there together, and this was a cool guy to talk to. He had a Wilton vise, and I missed it. He already had it sold. I seen it over there on his trailer, and it's one of those really nice tradesman vices, you know, a good quality made in USA vise. And he had it over on the trailer, and I asked him, I said, what do you want for that vise? He says, oh, that's already been sold. I'm like, dang, man, I would have loved to got that thing. But so anyway, we were talking, and so I asked him what he wanted for these. He wanted 20 bucks for the ratchet, which is still a pretty good pie, and he wanted 10 for the wrench. So we settled on 25 for the pair. So that's what I come out, and I might do a little bit of cleaning up on that, try to get some of this rust off of it, but it still sounds good. And I do have a 3/4 inch drive ratchet set down there. It was Dad's, and it's one of those made in Taiwan sets that he bought probably back in the 80s. So I do have some sockets I can use, and every now and then they're handy. So I thought that would be a good tool to maybe hang over there on the wall somewhere if I can make some room. So that was it for the scores today, but I got one more thing right here that I'd like for you to look at, and let's talk about. So the same guy that I bought these from, I found this amongst all the wrenches and everything. And if you look close, you see what it says? Monarch. On that side too, Monarch. Now, obviously you know why I picked it up. You know that I got a Monarch lathe, and I like those. Is this for a Monarch lathe? I really have no idea. I don't know what this could be used for. There are other Monarch brands of things out there. I seen a sewing machine out there one day that was the brand name was Monarch. So I don't know what this is for, but I found it interesting because it's got Monarch on it, and he threw it into the deal right here because I bought those. Yeah, he didn't know what it was either. But what I'm asking is, does anybody recognize what this is and what it could be used for? Could it possibly have went to a Monarch lathe, or was it for another Monarch brand of tool of some sort or anything? Let's see. It appears to be a square drive, but I don't know. I don't know if that's a complete square or not. It's kind of at an angle there. 673. So that'd be a little loose for 5/8. 17 millimeter. It's right on 17, so that could be for a 17 mil square. So anyway, I guess that's going to be a mystery tool. If anybody recognizes what this is, post a comment up. Let me know. See what you think. And that's the only reason I got that, was just to share with you guys. Okay. All right. So that's going to be it for the this week's flea market scores. And I'm going every weekend, and I'm always looking for those cool buys. So maybe next week I'll share some more with you. Okay. Thank you. Here's another little job I've been working on. It's not really little. You can see it's kind of big actually, but I've got 2 motorcycle wheels that I'm having to do a little bit of facing on. And you can see that side right there looks like it's got a nice clean face. That's because that's what I had to do. What had happened was the customer had these wheels powder coated, and whoever powder coated them powder coated all of the surfaces that for the like the sprocket. I believe this is the sprocket here. I'm sorry. No, this is the brake side. That should be for the brake disc, and then the sprocket assembly be on this other side here. But you can see down in there that fresh aluminum area. I had to skin that also. That big hub goes up on this side. But so I didn't get any video of this one right here. This is one of those jobs that I just was ready to get them done and get them out of my way, and been wanting to just get the work done. I could play my music, you know, and like I said, just get them done and get them out of here. But I might show a little bit of the other one. I have one more wheel to do. Mainly just kind of touch on the jig that I'm using. I machined a shaft, and then I had to machine bushings. That's a bushing right behind that nut there, and there's another bushing on the other side that fits that bearing journal. So it's riding on the bearing journals, and that's the proper way to hold them so that you're running true. So what I was going to point out was he took them back to the guy that powder coated them, and told him, like, look man, you know, this ain't gonna work. So the guy he said he took a Dremel tool and tried to use a Dremel tool and to grind all of the powder coating off. And you can still see signs a little bit. There's a spot right there where the grinder got it, and I think there's a couple more still on here that I didn't clean up. Maybe that's it. There's a few spots right in there. So I ended up taking 7 thousandths to clean this up right here. And then the other side, I mean, it maybe 2 thousandths. Once I got down to aluminum, it wasn't much. Just cleaned it up. All right, so I'm going to take this thing off, and I'm going to set the other one up, and I might show you a couple clips on how I'm mounting the wheels. You know, the machine work, I think you understand. Once it's running, you're just facing it, you know, taking care not to come in here and cut all these off. But the setup jig is the most important part of this, I believe. Okay, so I just took the wheel off, and I'll show you. So that's the solid shaft that I turned down to 1 inch, threaded it on this end for a 1 inch nut. All right, and then these are the bushings that fit inside the rim. So you got this one for this side, and you got the bigger one for this side. So I've got one more rim to do. Okay, we got this one here, and of course, see, these are different size bearings. Now this rim, they're the same on both sides, but so I got to make 2 more. I got to make 2 more bushings for this rim here, and once I do that, then I'll set this one up on the same manner. All right, we just finished making the other 2 bushings. That's them there. I just used a piece of cold roll for this. I had some 2 7/16, and it was a piece like that long, and that's what I used. I drilled and reamed the center. Use a 1 inch taper shank reamer. Anyway, we've got a good fit on that right there. Okay, and then your bearing journal. I give it 1/1000th clearance in there on both sides. All right, so this one should fit too. Gets a little bit tight as we get up in there. Just felt a little piece of crud or something right there. All right, so I'll go ahead and slide one of those on. All right, and I'm going to come around here and slide this one on. There we go. There it is. Alright, so there they are. It's on both of the bushings. And the width is different too. I had to make it to where, you know, I had enough thread on both of them for this nut to work. So I'm not going to tighten that yet because I don't want the wrench to kind of take a chance moving the mandrel. So what I'll do is I'll slide everything up. We'll put the tailstock in there, and then I'll snug this lightly and face one side. All right, I got the tailstock tight, so now I can come in here with my wrench and just snug that up. That's quite a bit of torque with that long 15-inch. By the way, I was going to point something out. Guys, remember I showed this in a video. This is one of my flea market wrenches I bought a few weeks ago. That 1.5 inches happens to be the right size for a 1-inch nut there. Thought that was pretty cool. All right, so let's see how she runs. Looks pretty good to me. Now any out of roundness that you might be seeing is the casting of the wheel. I can tell that the part of it's out a little bit, but what we're looking at is the machine surface there. So, all right, let me get a tool set up. I had to get you out of the way because I got to get in here and work. So that's a good shot for you there. So what I did, I came in with the tool and touched one of these little registered areas here. We're going to go ahead and set our dial to 0 for that. And I'll go ahead and speed her up. Alright, everything's good and tight. Go ahead and dial in 5 thousandths. All right, we just about got it there. That would probably work, really. I better take a little bit more. There's some spots. I'm going to take 2 more like I did on the other one. See where we end up at. 2 thousandths on the dial. Zero. All right, I think that'll work. We definitely got the powder coating off, and it's cleaned up too. That was the other problem, is it had been ground on with a Dremel tool. There's one of them that I can still see a low spot there and there, but it'll sit flat on there now. I need to go ahead and hit this register just a little bit. I'm just feeding this by hand. Alright, that should work there. You got one that's low right there, and it's below all the rest of them, but that should work. As I said, we're mainly just cleaning up powder coating and then just clean up the carnage that was put on there by hand. So I'm gonna live with that. So let's flip it around. All right, we'll just leave the bushings in there then. See, the powder coating has already been kind of ground off of that. That's why it looks white, the aluminum. And the other thing I remember him saying was that he tried to tape some of them up, but it wasn't a very good job because you have coating in places still that it shouldn't be. Go. This face is a different distance. It's 15 thousandths off, or 15 thousandths difference. Five thousandths. Look at that. Let's see if we clean the face up. Let's do the same thing. We're going to take another two. A couple of them look a little iffy. Right. I believe that'll work. So I did the same thing on all three surfaces. Touched off and took 7 thousandths to clean them up, look nice.